Sandy Says Read, and welcome to the channel. Tonight we are going to do a booktube tag. This is the third of the three Books of Words tag. Yeah, this is the third installment in the Books of Words tag that I came up with for this channel. This whole concept of this Books of Words tag was inspired by the alphabet tag that Jim does over at Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff. I was inspired by that. I was inspired by getting to go back and re-look at and revisit books and characters and stories that we've read over the years, right? I really enjoy that. I'm still doing the alphabet tag. I'm up to the letter J. Yeah, so I'm still working on that, still powering through, but I put together this Books of Words tag, and I'm up to the Inspirational Words tag. That's the one we're going to do this evening, and I'm going to put the prompts to this in the drop-down box below so that you guys can do this tag too. You can do it without having to sit through what we're about to ramble through more than once, all right? It has taken a little time for me to get to this third installment. It's taken a little time because I think I made the prompts too difficult. You'll have to tell me. If these prompts are too hard, you are most welcome to modify them. You can do whatever you want with these things, okay? The point was just to appreciate and love books. The point was to just be inspired by books. Stories, characters, the good and the positive and the optimistic in these books. Okay? And I made it too hard. At least it was too hard for me. You guys might find it to be a total breeze. But I got to the very last prompt in this and I was like, I don't know. And so I've been like struggling with it, putting it off, procrastinating. And now it is time to face the music. Let us begin. Let us begin the Inspirational Words book tag. Here are the prompts. Prompt number 1 is harmony. To have harmony is to have a sense of peace. What novel have you enjoyed that showed a peaceful or harmonious society? You guys, I actually had some difficulty with this one. Because if you think about it, the books we read, they have conflict, right? You're supposed to clash. You have conflict, and that's what makes the story like move, right? That's what drives things, conflict. So I looked for a book that I read recently that had a harmonious society. I had to go with A Chance to Bloom by D. Stewart. Huge glare on the book. Let me turn it a little bit for you. Okay, A Chance to Bloom. This book had this, like, I think it was Marysville was the name of the town that the main character went to. And everyone in that town was just so nice and so kind to her. They wanted her to join their world, just to be part of their community, and they were just welcoming and loving and open and kind, and it was great. That was a harmonious society. Okay, so there's that one. Let's see what else we have. Prompt number 2, empower. To be imbued with ability. What work of fiction have you enjoyed that showed a positively empowered main character, one who was empowered to do good and used that power properly? And I'm going to go with Faith of the Fallen by Terry Goodkind. I think this is, which book is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 6th book in the Sword of Truth overall series, right? A Sword of Truth novel. It probably even says on here which one it is. Well, anyway, Faith of the Fallen. In this novel, Richard Rahl, he's actually having to take his old name, you know, his old false name, Richard Cipher, and pretend to be his old self. And I don't want to give it away. Have you guys read this yet? Y'all need to read this. If you're, all of you out there, y'all need to read this. He has to just take the power within him and do good. And he does do good. This is a great book. This is an empowering book, if I do say so myself. Okay, prompt number 3 is serenity. To have tranquility or serenity in one's circumstances is a powerful, inspirational goal. What work of fiction or nonfiction would you recommend that shows a path to achieving tranquility or serenity of mind or purpose? And I'm going to go with From the Mouth of Ma, let's get the glare off of it, by Robin Elizabeth Miller. Now, right around the time that this book came out, another book called Caroline had come out, right around the same time. And I've got them both, I read them both, and I appreciated this one, From the Mouth of Ma, a little bit more. They were both about Caroline Ingalls. They both looked into her history. They both had, it was apparent that they both did a great deal of research into Caroline. The other one, it was more like a novel in its telling, in its storytelling, in the way it was presented. And it just had, I don't know, it had moments that were just a little bit uncomfortable to me, I guess I would say. It didn't feel as well researched as this one did. I'm trying to say that. But this one presented Caroline Ingalls as this serene and calm and nurturing woman. This book just really presented Ma Ingalls the way I remembered her from the whole Little House on the Prairie book series from when I was a kid. Like when I read that series when I was a kid, I read it more than once as a kid, right? The whole series. And Ma just always came across to me as this serene and compassionate and kind woman who, I mean, she could discipline her girls when she had to, but she was just this good mom, and I don't know, there was just a serenity to her. There's a quote from one of the books, and I would never be able to find which of the books it was in, right? But she told the girls, there's no great loss without some small gain. Like there was a moment on the prairie when the locusts came and they were eating all the crops, and I mean, they basically lost all their crops, and that's not a good thing to happen when you're a small family out in the middle of nowhere, right? But the chickens were eating the locusts. And Ma said, we won't have to buy chicken feed this way. And so she said, there's no great loss without some small gain. And that message, I mean, listen to me, I'm telling you this message, right? That message has stayed with me ever since the first time I read it. And that message from Ma is the kind of just like serene and calm message that I get from Ma. And I got that out of this book. I could go on for hours about Caroline Ingalls. Okay, so let's move on to prompt number 4, perseverance. All right. Sometimes it takes perseverance to reach a goal. What is the longest book or series you've read lately that showed a character undergoing many trials or a long journey or a deep, complex character arc to reach that final goal? Long time ago, I read Grapes of Wrath. And that one, I mean, that was a pretty long story for the time that I was reading it. And boy, they had to just persevere, right? To stay alive, to just get through the Great Depression, right? But more recently, I've had to reread Sword of Shannara. I didn't set it here. Look at that. All right, Sword of Shannara. More recently, I've had to reread Sword of Shannara. I didn't have to. I wanted to reread it because I was going to meet Terry Brooks at a convention and get to interview him. And so I wanted to reread this and have the characters back in my mind. And yeah, I mean, perseverance. Yes. Okay. And it's a pretty chunky little book, right? So I think that fits prompt number 4. All right, guys, let's move to prompt number 5, focus. Which, yeah, that would not describe this video so far. Focus. Sometimes all we need is to focus attention on the goal. What is the shortest book you've read lately that showed a character hitting a concise goal? I'm going to go with 3 Bells Past Midnight by William Heinzen, and that was the novella, the short. It wasn't really a short story, it was a novella, but it was in the Realms of Fantasy box set that I did a review of that here on the channel a couple months back. I can put a link to that in the drop-down box below. It is no longer available. So if y'all didn't jump on that back when you had the chance, you're out of luck. I think that William is one of Jumpmaster Press's authors, and each of their authors is going to have each of their novellas available as a standalone. So I will also put a link to Jumpmaster Press in the drop-down box below, because that was an awesome, good story. 3 Bells Past Midnight. I mean, the main character, whose name just left my brain, the main character had a concise goal, which was basically stay alive, but he had to solve the little mystery that I'm not going to tell you, but he had to stay alive. He had to defeat the baddies. It was good. Prompt number 6. Honor. Honor and courage aren't necessarily the same thing, but we often attribute these to the heroes and heroines in the stories we love. What is a novel you've enjoyed that showed a remarkable secondary character who supported the main character with great courage or devotion or honor despite adversity? And you guys, I got to go with Samwise Gamgee, right? Sam in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Sam was awesome. And Aragorn, I mean, he obviously displayed honor and courage and heroism and loyalty and all that, right? But Sam, I mean, come on. Okay. Number 7 is jubilant, to have joy. And of course, I keep singing the song Cecilia. Jubilation, she loves me again. Okay, what is a book you would recommend to feel uplifted? So I'm going to say The Reason for My Hope by Billy Graham. This is totally uplifting. Totally. There you go. Superb, to be exemplary. What is an awe-inspiring book of either fiction or nonfiction that you would recommend to a friend, and why? What about the story or character has stuck with you over the years? Gosh, we could probably all say this together. Jane Eyre, right? Jane, got Jane right here on the shelf. Jane Eyre. The Bronte shelf is right here. That's why this was easy. Jane Eyre, because Jane is just, I mean, this was an awe-inspiring book from the moment I first read it. Come on. But I also wrote down here Lord of the Rings, of course, and then Little House on the Prairie. You guys, that was inspiring. The whole series that I read was inspiring to me. Laura was inspiring to me. Those characters, the crap they went through, I mean, it was a hardship to live on the prairie, right? And they had to move from place to place when the government decided, oh, that land we were going to let you have, no, we're giving that back. I mean, they had to pack up and move again. You know, that's inspiring to be able to just adapt and change and move and grow and survive. Yeah. Okay, so was I supposed to pick one? What did I say? What is an awe-inspiring book? Go with Jane Eyre, you guys. Because the others are a series. Go with Jane Eyre. Okay, that was the 8 prompts for the Words of Inspiration. Is it Words of Inspiration? Yeah, the Inspirational Words book tag. There is a bonus because this is not over yet. Oh no, you're not done listening to me ramble. There is a bonus word, and the bonus word is love. Whether it's agape love or the deep romantic love one feels for a life mate, humans are drawn to stories that show love's triumph. What is a book that surprised you when love triumphed, or one where you didn't expect a love story to intrigue and inspire you? And guys, this is the question that I just couldn't, I was stumped. I stumped myself with this one because usually if I pick up a book and there's a love story in it, I know there's a love story in it, right? I mean, we read the back cover of these things. So the love story is not going to be a surprise. So I'm going to be very self-indulgent and tell you that my own book, the Choices series, is the one where the love story that's underneath there is the one that surprised me. Because I didn't know there was going to be a love story in it when I wrote it, when I started writing it. I didn't know that. I knew it was going to be this epic fantasy. I knew there was a bad guy chasing my main character. I knew there was a wizard trying to help her. I knew that stuff was happening. I didn't know there was going to be this love story in there. And that happened. So that surprised me. But that was the question that stumped me. Hence the delay in getting the third installment of this tag ready for you guys. But that's it. That's the Inspirational Words book tag. That is the end of our books of words tag. That's all 3. All 3 wrapped up and done. I leave it to you all out there in BookTube world you guys, the 3 tags are done. I will put links to to the other 2. So all 3 of these are kind of together here. So you guys can see all the prompts. You guys can see the way I've done them. Any other folks who have done these tags, please tag one another. Let each other see the way you've answered the different prompts. Feed off of this. Feed off of the positive energy of this. The positive and the good and the optimistic, the inspirational, the good, okay? There's always good stuff about books. There's good stuff to remember. Use this in that way. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please give this a thumbs up for the good and the positive, and please subscribe to the channel. You got to click the bell notification icon to be notified when I do stuff like this, like tags or reviews or just rambling weird stuff. And I think that's it. This has been kind of fun. Even though it was a challenge for this one, it's been kind of fun. So I hope that you guys have fun with it too.